Moon. Two games or you double your prize money.
You can even lose a game.
Yeah.
All you have to do is
throw that in.
All you have to do is win too.
Yeah, why not? More games, more experience.
Yeah, sounds so simple. We are getting ready for the draft here, and I'm curious because obviously we just talked about the 4 heroes that we see banned every time. Yeah. We have had some changes though, and this is an odd one for me. Beastmaster? What? We didn't even see him once yesterday, did we?
I don't believe we did. Maybe they know FlyToMoon, like the best way for them to win is aggression. And Beastmaster, you win your lane, all of a sudden you push a tower. Maybe they just don't want to get over-aggressed on, if that's a word.
Yeah, I mean,
It is now.
Beastmaster is always like an interesting hero because he gives you like this BKB piercing, but he gives you so much map control, right?
Visibility,
Visibility is so much actually from it. So maybe they have something against it in particular, but.
And they also banned the Ogre, so, I mean, they played off lane, so 2 off-laners, maybe they're just targeting one guy, making him feel uncomfortable.
I mean, maybe they're targeting Flo, right? Flo did have a really rough time in the Axe yesterday in particular.
Yeah, well, even worse on the Ogre the game before that one.
Was it? He was 0-11 on the Axe, wasn't he?
It was worse on the
He had a rough one.
He had a rough day.
It was a tough day.
We've all been there.
All the offlaners struggled quite a bit.
They were all getting sacked. I did notice that.
Yeah.
People were really sacking their offlaners.
They were, yeah, we talked about that. Just, we're back, we're banned.
Yeah.
We're like, that's why Universe is going to succeed. He's used to that.
We were like sitting back with some other people, and they were just literally saying the same thing. They're like, oh, I guess that's the meta that we're back to, so.
Yeah. I think I saw the supports were like chasing Universe underneath like a tier 2 tower. Tier 1 was still up. It's only like 5 minutes of the game.
Help me. Yeah, he's just running away. It looks like Liquid, so they last banned the Shadow Demon, so they go away from the offlaners.
Oh, snap.
Oh, we're back. They actually take the Rubik and the Void.
Oh, the Void?
The Void in the first.
Madden's back.
First voice pick.
Abba and Void, so 2 of the heroes that were pretty much permabanned yesterday. I mean, Abba saw a little play, but they both get through. We're going to see some different stuff.
All right. And we got the Lesh.
Do you want some sort of like extra save now? Because FlyToMoon has that Faceless Void. Obviously, you know, the Shadow Demon's already been taken out, but...
It's tough because you have the Ab already, so you might think that's enough. But
It's
Abba,
not.
it's the shield, and now that it's such a low cast range, it feels bad. It's funny though, because Abba might be a core. I mean, I think it probably will be a core. It's nice to have that because Void Chronos you, he can't kill you, which is really, really good as a core hero. That's why you see like heroes like Wraith King and Abba are very popular versus Void, because Void just wants to chrono, burst you down, and he can't on those two heroes.
Exactly one of the heroes I was going to say. I think Wraith King and Naga Siren are the two that are actually standing out for me right now for Team Liquid. I think Naga's always one of the ones that stands out versus Void.
I like the Wraith King. I feel like that could be something that's also adds to early aggression coming out to side for like Liquid being able to take those Skelly Men, move them out.
Yeah, I think it works really well with the Lesh too, because then you have a setup stun, you can make the Lesh a support. Yeah, I think the Wraith King looks pretty decent here. All right, they take out a Wyvern. Wyvern is pretty disruptive.
First Faceless Void, especially.
Yeah, very disruptive versus Void. Even though Void, sure, you have your magical damage component, but you're messing up everything. You just save somebody in the chrono. You're super far away in the fights too.
You don't consider Abaddon to be enough to save people in a chrono? I guess his range is very short.
Yeah, the range is really difficult.
So what kind of heroes are you looking for? Because you do need something, right?
Yeah.
In the past, we've seen Omni Knights, ODs. Are there any others?
Well, they said heroes that, you know, they can kind of elongate a team fight. So, like, if Wraith King gets taken down, he's kind of come right back up again as long as he's got the mana.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like a Naga Siren, if she's not caught in that Chronosphere, she can go and use her song. I saw, like, the Shadow Demon usually is kind of something that people like to use. You mentioned the OD.
10 seconds
But
remaining.
I think SD is definitely up there, because also the Lesh, right?
But he's
And-
also banned.
he's been banned.
Wait,
yeah,
he is banned.
so-
Okay, I was going to say, why didn't they open with Shadow Demon?
Yeah.
It's still there. Wait a minute, that hero's OP.
that was banned early.
Okay,
earlier.
cool.
But like the Wyvern, I like the Wyvern ban for sure. Like, there's just, it's too good, especially even if you've got a BKB, right? You can just go and
just-
put down the Winter Spirits. You can't do
And he's
anything.
one of those fives who it's like, you actually have to know where he's at. There's other, like Bane, whatever. You know where he's gripping you from, it's easy. Winter Wyvern, if you don't know where he's at, you can't start a fight. That's the thing. And I guess that's also why you ban someone like Beastmaster, because then he would see them. But
And that is the Naga Siren ban. I think that's, you have to take one of them out for sure.
Yeah.
Like either the Naga or the Wraith King. You're going to have to pick your poison who you're going to play against if Liquid does want to go for that, so.
And it's funny, because I think Naga Siren's actually faster paced than Wraith King now, right? You get Diffusal, you get Manta, and maybe a Heart or a Butterfly, depending, but you just go. Like Wraith King, they farm a lot now, even though they used to be faster paced.
I just always like both versus Void. It's like, sure, you have the thing where you respawn and you have your sleep to counter the chrono, but you're also just like innately tanky, and you have a lockdown for Void. You get a net on him, he is screwed.
Yeah.
If you get a
Doesn't do
stun on him,
anything.
he's probably screwed as well. So yeah, both of those always really stand out for me.
And we talked a lot about stuns too earlier. It seemed that a lot of the teams were going for the stunning lineups. Seems to be the lockdown really kind of seals the deal. Oh, and Undying. I don't think we've seen any of those yet, have we?
I believe it was one played on the second stream, not the one we tested
okay.
though. And
But during the qualifiers, he was super popular.
yes,
Not very successful, but very popular.
yeah,
Right?
he had a very low win rate.
Yes.
And I mean, it's one of those heroes, right? Like, you're having the most fun you'll ever have in 10 minutes, and then you're literally just a soul rip at that point. I mean, maybe a tombstone, but like you're actually just a soul rip.
Yeah, this is just like the safe lane secure, right? Like you're just, yeah. You're very good versus Abaddon. If this is an off-lane Abaddon, it makes it so he actually can't really like walk up and hit and contest because you're just so squishy. You get your strength reduced and Undying just zones you out.
You see that Fly, he has the most Undying hours, but right there, I mean, they're
gone.
close. They're getting there.
They're getting there. They're on the way.
Dude, he is such a fun hero to play, but like at a certain point, it's just like, I'm not a hero anymore. Like you're really not, but you have the Faceless Void, so as long as you secure his farm, you've done your job. That's it.
Undying's really a lot about like your first few minutes if you have to make rotations. If you make a wrong rotation, you're just like, oh god, I can't make it to the other lane for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, your game's actually just over. You can actually lose a game in like 5 minutes with Undying. It's crazy.
Yeah, just have to be positioned for your like tombs or for your like setups to heal people with Soul Rip. Because you're not a ganker, you're just your lane secure.
But I do like it for FlyToMoon because I think they do have to play way more aggressive. Because Liquid, I think, being the more stable team, like they can sit back and just like focus on like their teamwork to win games. FlyToMoon, I think you would just want to run at them and get kills. The CIS way.
It was weird though because like the match that I cast the other day, it didn't feel like they were
doing that.
They
Yeah,
were
it was
being
the slowest
CIS,
paced game.
aggressive
Yeah, it
person.
definitely was.
It was
strange.
definitely the enemy team that was taking that initiative.
Yo,
That's why I'm glad they have the Undying now.
I just thought of something hype.
What?
What?
If Curse of Avernus gets fully applied and there's a Death Ward going, it gets the increased attack speed going, doesn't it?
Does
I
it?
believe so, yeah.
I would believe
Oh
so
my
because
God.
it works with
There.
penitence.
That's so
I mean,
cool.
that's
didn't realize
very
that.
random, but that just sounds funny. I hope we get to see it.
Who is it that doesn't like seeing Legion Commander right now? Is it you?
Yeah,
I
it
like
is
Legion. I don't like the. I don't.
You don't like the
I don't
like the
fully
bracer?
understand the
No?
pipe thing still. Because people are all building like pipe first item and have 0 dual damage. They're just playing it as a save.
I feel it worked out. I think Secret ended up doing it first, right? And like, if a really good team does it and they succeed with it, everyone is gonna cut. Like, that kind of is how Dota is right now. It's like someone innovates and everyone else follows.
I mean, and I am seeing the potential for him doing it. He's versus Leshrac. Pipe is looking really strong. You've got like saves. You have the buff for your Void inside. You can even press the attack him in the Chrono.
Yep.
Yeah, so I am seeing that for sure.
Dude, just press the attack right now. It's so good. Like, the fact you get 30 HP regen at level 1 is crazy.
They've got a decent amount of like burst though too. If he does try to go for any sort of duels, especially with
Whoa, they did it again. They did this yesterday, I believe, that 4th pick Broodmother.
Yeah, and even though they won that game,
it was close. That was real close.
it wasn't as like a gotcha Brood, you insta lost. No, it was actually a long game.
Did you see the way Blitz was smiling up there when they picked it? It was really funny. He was like
for sure.
very pleased with himself on that.
3 of these heroes just can do nothing versus Broodmother.
Yeah.
Undying is, that's probably Undying's like worst nightmare. It's like Broodmother and PL. You're just like, oh, well, the spiders are gonna kill my tomb, or the illusions are gonna kill my tomb, or it makes it really
do
tough.
you move the Legion Commander now to whatever lane the Broodmother's in? Because he's the best equipped to deal with it.
I was thinking it might be they could just do Earthshaker again. I mean, we saw I like Demon Slayer's best game was versus that Brood. Like, they had a very good shot of winning that game. One mistake they lost.
For
but
sure.
I don't know, that'd be Void, Legion, Earthshaker feels like a real weird core trio.
Versus Witch Doctor Lesh as well. You're picking a tri-melee or a quad melee lineup into heroes that love playing versus melee.
I think Moxie's right. I think you just send the Legion, because it should be quite, like, I'm pretty sure you know it's going to be middle, is that Brood, because they played in middle versus Earthshaker.
How is that matchup even now? I feel like Legion just gets super out-farmed.
Without that double stout, it's real rough. I think you're right.
Yeah, you just get out-farmed. You just can't do the same as a Broodmother can.
Dude, I love how double stout just, like, killed the offlaners doing stuff, but it, like, killed all the counters for Broodmother as well, kind of.
Yeah.
They go Ember.
Ember.
They want to play real fast. I mean, we thought FlyToMoon wanted to play fast. You have a Broodmother, Ember, Lesh, Abba. You're actually 20 minutes. You're going to be 5-manning, 4-manning.
But if Void is not having the toughest of times, he can Chrono Brood, Brood dies.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like she is super sustainable.
But the problem is, even if you do get that kill right, Leshrac, Ember have no cooldown. So you use one bad Chrono, or even you get a kill. What if Brood just buys back and you're like, uh-oh, we're in trouble.
This is a very skirmishy lineup from the side of Liquid, and I like it a lot because of the fact that they're playing with a very high cooldown with the Faceless Void. Even like Tombstone and such.
Yeah,
it's pretty decently high. There's not really great spells for Rubik to steal this game too much either. It's mostly the Leshrac, Witch Doctor, maybe some of the Abaddon saves.
And you definitely don't want to steal webs, because I believe Brood actually gets Rubik's webs, but Rubik doesn't get Brood's web. I'm pretty sure it works like that. Because it works like that for other Rubik spells, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't
the
know.
Like the Chronosphere works like that?
Yeah,
I thought the webs do, doesn't it?
I know you lose your webs when you steal another spell. I don't know if Brood benefits from them, actually.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. I don't think they used to, but I could be wrong. I don't remember.
And I could be wrong, too.
Yeah,
You never know.
I can't remember exactly.
We gotta get our shit together.
I'm definitely really liking what Liquid has though set up. I think like this Ember and Abaddon, they could just snowball out of control, and there's like really limited lockdown for FlyToMoon.
Yeah.
And now with that pick, FlyToMoon has to win their lanes. You pick a tied Legion, because they both do pretty decent versus Ember as well as the Brood. So if you win, you can win this laning phase with your like kind of dominant, but we've seen that. It feels like winning lanes this tournament doesn't feel as big as like that 25-minute mark.
Yeah.
I agree.
Whew.
I need to hear it from you guys.
I'm gonna, I'm a big underdog guy, but I think Liquid's draft is just, I would honestly give it about an 85-50 favor. So I like Liquid a lot here.
I definitely heard you say 85-50 at first. I was like, oh, Grant.
Wait a minute, let me get my fingers and my abacus out.
I'm going to go with Team Liquid. I just think FlyToMoon, they just have too many high cooldowns, right? And the lockdown's a bit limited. They're mostly ultimates that have to be used to try to lock down like Ember or whatnot. It just looks a little bit too difficult of a draft to get working.
I'm gonna agree too. I think they have very limited lockdown for this Ember. Ember with his Abaddon shield as well is gonna be like just unkillable. He's gonna be roaming through, and I think, like you said, long cooldowns, and yeah, it should look to be pretty tough for Fly.
I think you're all underestimating the Faceless Void.
We might be.
Yeah, we could.
Might be.
I therefore will go for FlyToMoon. I feel like if this is a game, if they're gonna win a game, it's this one. They get freaking Void. You know?
I agree. I mean, the lanes could just go well, and this Void could just be a god. It really could be.
It really could. The counter to everything by default, because he can just bubble them.
Yeah.
You know, and you're gone. All right, it is time to find out who's gonna take this first game of the day. Let's find out together with OD Pixel and Lizard.
Yes, Team Liquid versus FlyToMoon to start the day off. I'm ODPixel here with Lizard, and we're looking at a Brood game to start the day off. How good of a Brood game is it, though, Lizard? Is this going to be a free win for Liquid?
Let me just ask. They changed Loda for Blitz, right? That's what they did. And instantly they're just picking Brood. Is this what Blitz does as a coach? Just forces you to pick Broods? Come on, man. I mean, it's an all right of a Brood game.
Okay.
But then again, there are counters on the side of FlyToMoon. It's definitely not a gotcha pick, you know? Even when they picked it, they had Legion Commander on the other side already. So the lane isn't going to be devastated in that way, but what does a Brood do? She pushes the lane out a little bit and just goes jungle. And then she creeps skip between your tier 1 and tier 2, even if you're a counter. We'll see. Flo is playing that Legion Commander. He's usually their offlaner, so that leaves the Tidehunter on the mid lane, played by Iceberg.
And this is a good hero to just throw against the Brood lane because you're not going to feed, right?
Yeah, you're not going to feed. That's usually what you do against Brood. You get a hero that's not going to feed. However, Undying right here is in some problems.
Yeah, he's trying to juke him out, get those decays up. No, they'll slowly chase him. Be able to get maybe another one out. No, not going to get the chance. Stuns there from Tiger.
It was actually interesting that Always Wanna Fly picks an Undying in this game. I know that it's popular for them, but overall the hero has low percentage of win rate, and also it's not the best hero versus Leshrac. Leshrac is actually pretty decent in the laning stage versus an Undying, especially if you go for Edict. You can just run him down. That decay is good, but it won't really matter that much, as you just dish out way too much damage for him to stand and fight you like he can do versus so many other heroes.
And this top lane, as you mentioned earlier, Flo playing the off-lane Legion. I mean, are they going to be able to put a good amount of pressure onto Mikkei's Ember, or do you see this Ember still having a good amount of farm from this lane?
We'll see. I think it's a skill-based matchup. I definitely think that Flo and the Rubik Slayer, Sioma the Slayer, they can put some pressure on the Ember. But Witch Doctor is there to mess their things up, to break the combo.
We're going to see down bottom. Yeah, Bo3 trying to trade blows there with Always Wanna Fly, getting a little low himself. That's got the salve.
He took all the 8 stacks away from Boxy's and Abaddon, so there's a lot of strength missing. He only has 540 HP. Because of that, you can't really trade hits. Arc or Kellen, he plays Void a lot, and it's one of the reasons why the hero is banned versus them all the time. However, they didn't have too much success with it. There are some games in which they find themselves using these chronospheres a little bit awkwardly, or not using them at all, saving them for that perfect time which never comes. We'll see how it goes in this game, though.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what sort of build he does go for, and if we do see sort of the Aghanims come into play, it's one of those items that, as the panel talked about, a lot of low cooldowns on Liquid's side. You know, if you're able to sort of shift that chrono cooldown down yourself, it really can be game winning. It's always just a question of how early you want to pick it up, or, you know, because of the need to get those other items. Because in this sort of game, he's going to need to pack a punch. He's going to need to kill the heroes in the chrono.
Because if you look at it, they don't truly have any damage in the chrono. Like, the most damage that you can get is possibly from Rubik, who's going to steal some good spell, and that's it. But like a Death Ward or something similar. But it's not really a game in which you have a Void and then you have some decay. He's fine. And then you have some huge damage coming into the chrono. I was wondering, when they picked Void, if they're going to pick some Jakiro perhaps on position 5, which is just as strong as Undying in the laning stage, but also brings you so much strength in that chrono. It allows you to take down heroes, but nope. They instead go with another melee hero, an Undying, and they're now stuck as 4 melees and the Rubik with the Chronosphere. It feels a little bit awkward.
We're going to see up top, Mango pops as the cask is out onto Flo, and nearly brought down Insania. I swear, Tiger does finish off Always Wanna Fly once again. Two of them down here on this bottom lane, able to chase down the Undying.
Yeah, it's just peculiar that they decided to go for Undying when I don't really see this lane as the best one for the hero.
Yeah, it seems to be a bit of a tough start for him. I mean, he is getting some sort of space, you know, not as much space as Mikkei is getting up top. You know, Kellen is a little behind on the CS if you compare the two cores at the moment. But yeah, giving up his life a few times on the Undying. It's only going to make Boxy's life a little happier down there.
The Flo is managing here to creep skip a little bit, while Slayer is just messing with the farm of Ember. That Fade Bolt on level 2 just reduces your damage so much, and you can't last it properly on Ember. That's why he's a little bit behind the Brood and the Tide. Oh. He should be fine.
Yeah, didn't want to go for the chase there, considering Tiger still had the stun.
One of the good things about losing that strength with decay is that you heal up faster.
That's true.
Whatever you use.
Fairy Fire is much more value.
Exactly. He just healed up so much, like 15% of his HP with one Fairy Fire. I saw one good thing from Iceberg. He was stacking all the time, that medium camp next to mid, but Brood would go there and just farm it, so maybe he has to farm it a bit quicker.
See here on the bottom. And I'm going to certainly try and chase this one. Always want to fly. He's got a soul repeal, but he has now been silenced, so no chance to turn into K for now. Kellen does come back in with a bash on Tiger, and that will put Tiger off from chasing.
He had no faith in the bash. Like, you have to believe in the RNG.
I mean, yeah, if he gets second set of bashes there.
Exactly, if he went for that flash, possibly he kills him before Abaddon reacts, but yeah, he just backed out.
Tiger diving in with the Edict, always want to fly. His turn, he's always want to fly. He's got to be a little careful getting blocked in as well by his own creeps. Being as low as they are, they cannot contest these runes. Liquid are able to step back and grab them for themselves. Now Boxy's going to come charging, and Boxy actually does end up dying. Kellen gets the hit off, and Boxy walks into his own death. Doesn't get the chance to get a single spell. The dilation as well, slowing down Tiger. Tiger, he's holding on to the stun. It's juked out by Kellen. Iceberg's coming as well to shut Liquid's bottom lane down, and they'll get both of them. Tiger and Boxy fall.
They were controlling that lane so well, they were dominating that off lane, and now they just go and they feed. They're like, all right, I guess I'm gonna run in with 5% HP as an Abaddon and die before I use any spells.
Well, that's,
it happens.
Yeah, that sort of play will give away that lead that you had in top lane. FlyToMoon able to dive down and chase down Insane here. Mickey, he's already forced off the top lane. It's Flo able to get more aggressive, nearly hitting level 5.
Yeah, he's out-leveling the Ember Spirit, also pushing him out of the lane. But we'll see Mickey just heal up on the fountain and then go back in. On the shrine, that is.
It's, you know, considering things, it's... Kellen gets this as well. Going to jump forward. Tiger does have the stun. Boxy in turn in place to offer the save with the heal. If that was a bash, he would have got the kill. A little unlucky with the RNG.
Yeah, it's not luck, it's skill.
Yeah.
He didn't prime it.
He's got to step it up.
Yep.
But a 1k lead. FlyToMoon, I think they're going to be pretty happy with these lanes. They saw the Brood. They had a good response to it, putting Iceberg mid. He's been getting a lot of farm. Sure, Quakefer still very much taking the lead with the way that he's able to utilize the jungle. But they're getting farm in all 3 lanes.
Definitely. Yeah. Let's see the top lane if they can deal with Mickey's aggression.
He's trying to chase down Flo, but with the Maledict won't be quite enough.
Yeah, he has that one bracer, second bracer coming up soon too. Oh, Boxy gets really low too. But overall, yeah, you were definitely right. FlyToMoon should be happy with the way that their lanes have went, especially because of this safe lane. It started off so poorly. Void has only 26 CS, like he's nowhere near the Ember Spirit even. But at least he got a couple of kills. He has some things going for him, and he'll be able to farm. But it's not a perfect start for the safe lane. However, the other 2 lanes are doing all right. The Tidehunter specifically. I believe Tidehunter is one of those heroes that takes the mid-tier 1 faster than Brood does. Like, he can actually push it in, and he can just stay on that lane and force the Brood to just jungle. She can't lane versus him.
Always want to fly. Actually, going to be fine there. Tiger holding on a little too long with the stun opportunity. So... always want to fly, will be able to get away. TP's coming in. In fact, they've got 4 heroes down here. Iceberg, he wants to try and fight. He's got the Ravage ready to go. He's eyeing up Boxy. He'll go for it. Boxy still yet to hit the 6. No borrowed time available. They've got the chain disable. And Boxy's taken out of the bottom laners.
It's really good that Slayer was there to lift him so that he cannot try and suicide himself with Mystic Coil. But overall, good rotation by Slayer and the Tidehunter. They just rotated in time before Abaddon hit 6, which allows you to actually take him down a couple of times, slow that level progression of his, because once he hits 6, he's just going to shove in the lane and you won't be able to deal with him as easily at least.
And now they've got the opportunities to maybe find another kill down here with Kellen hitting 6 himself. He does have the Chrono, will be going for the Treads Maelstrom.
Yeah, no Midas, nothing like that. He wants to be active as soon as possible.
Let's see if he gets a few bashes and maybe a bit of backup from Always Want to Fly. Could threaten Boxy with the Chrono, but...
he had like, what, 2 or 3 bashes in a row?
Yeah,
he heard us.
He's landing them this time. Just have to think quickly if they want to make that play, though, as Boxy is a couple of creeps away from having his 6, and does obviously make things a lot more difficult if they want to try and kill him off.
It would be really bad if they...
They're going to go. Yeah, they're going to seize the opportunity whilst he's still 5. He's still at a lot of HP, though. And, you know, as you said, they wanted to force it before he hit the 6, but it ends up being a little too hasty. And now with TP's coming in, they are going to get heavily punished for that attempt, as both always want to fly and Kellen do end up going down.
I mean, using that chrono on an Abaddon next to the tier 1, as he has that shield on.
I think he should have used it earlier. You saw when the Abaddon was further down the lane. Yeah, when he got those bashes off.
When
Bo3 was at less than half HP. That was the time to go. Definitely. Not at the time where he's nearly back full HP and he's by his tower.
He hesitated. He hesitated there. He didn't believe in the bashes. That's the bottom line. You have to believe.
And that's painful. You know, the first chrono usage, you don't get a kill, you lose your life.
It's the worst case scenario because it also gives Bo3 time to get 6, and now Dive always want to fly, kill him off super easily, and after that push in the lane. This tier 1 is about to fall very soon. As you can see, Witch Doctor also rotating around, possibly just to secure the bounty runes, but we will see a mirror movement coming from Radiant to FlyToMoon. They aren't really interested in defending this. They wasted their chrono. They don't really have anything to work with, so they just rotate top instead.
Flo, he's trying to get in onto... Mickey doesn't want to go for the duel whilst he's full HP.
You see this Tidehunter's build. He has phase boots, Vlad's. He's already so valuable to his team that he can port down bottom and just defend it on his own. That's a good rotation by Iceberg.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that is the thing. Having this Tide and Legion, it's hard for Koifa to quickly get to a lane and sort of rat a tower away. You're always going to have that call that you can send down there. Iceberg is going to be attempted upon by Liquid. He'll get the Ravage off to try and slow things down, but Mickey jumps in with the Remnant. Backup is coming in. Iceberg will be healed up by Flo as he still continues to back up towards the tower. And with that play, Iceberg will survive. They'll try and turn now with the duel attempt onto the Lesh. They will kill him off. Won't quite get him during the duel, but a kill's a kill.
I remember Grant and Fogged crying about the NA scene right now, how it's all about sustain, how it's all about these Omni Knights, Abaddons. We see a perfect example in this game. On one side you have this beefy Watermelon, the Tidehunter. On the other one you have this boxy Abaddon. You can't kill them. Like, you try to go on one hero, you're most certainly going to fail, and the counter attack is the one that kills you.
Yeah.
Because you can't burst the target down from 100 to 0 instantly before that help comes. In this particular situation, Legion Commander ports in, saves the Tidehunter, and then they turn easily. But at the same time, Koikwa enjoying his free space, his vacation on the mid lane, just taking one tower after another and farming pretty decently too. 7k net worth for him.
Yeah, his game is certainly continuing as planned, but that's sort of the way of the Brood.
I love his build as well. Like, I've been playing a little bit of Brood recently, not a lot, like that.
Disgusts me.
But there's a lot of players that tell you that you should be forcing this Aghanim's. I don't think that's the case. Medallion, Diffusal into BKB still allows you to be super active early on, and then afterwards you can go for Axe.
Oh, here we go. They've got the perfect setup there with the bounce off the neutral. Seizing that opportunity with no hesitation. Flo caught out in his own jungle.
Yeah, it's interesting that he was positioned there and that he farmed there, considering they just took the tier 1 on the bottom lane. The next obvious move for any team is to invade that forest of the Radiant and then ward up around this tier 2 so that you can take it easily. That's the classic move. So farming there is actually more dangerous than it looks like. But at the same time, he is that offlaner that's tanky. He's got 2 bracers. He didn't expect to die as fast as he did.
Now going to have those timings again. Kellen with the chrono available. He's got the javelin, so a little bit of a punch to offer.
I still don't feel it. Like, I don't think that's enough for him.
No,
He needs
especially not to try and kill the Brood. Maybe for some sort of the support pickoffs, but at the same time, it's
Taiga perhaps.
It's not going to feel good using a chrono for that.
The thing about this chrono is, like, you have some other spells. You have the Ravage, you have the duel that they have to worry about. So perhaps Kellen shouldn't be super conservative with it, and instead just throw it on a support and get a couple of kills so that you can just boost your farm so that it comes faster. You need to scale super well on this Void, and you need to scale fast. You can't wait for Ember Spirit and everyone else to get all what they need, because it might get a little bit too late.
Yeah, Tiger for now just staying hidden in the trees, not wanting to give up his position. There is backup coming in for Kellen.
Yep. There's a rotation coming from Ember Spirit. He's around, he's farming that medium camp, the small camp right now, I believe.
And they did catch a glimpse of him. They know he's around. And they are going to find him. Tiger is going to be in a lot of trouble. There is, as you say, an Ember nearby, but does he really want to get involved in this Mickey? Wow, if Kellen getting as low as he is here, Kellen's got to pop the chrono. Remnants are going to be thrown forwards and thrown out. It's a good attempt there to try and snipe him from inside the chrono.
That was too close for comfort, man. Like, he almost dies taking down a Leshrac. That's a position 4. That's not a good feeling for a Void. But then again, he did get that kill and he got out alive, so it's what he should be doing. He needs to waste his chronos just to boost his farm, nothing more. He doesn't farm that fast right now. Iceberg. Yeah, see you later, boys. And look at his build, by the way. If you click on Tidehunter, you'll see that he has Vlad's into Desolator. You don't see this very often.
No, this is, yeah.
He notices that they do need some more damage on this team, and I love this. I love the Tidehunter with some damage. That does also helps you push, obviously. And later on, with the talents, you're going to anchor smash the living hell out of these Liquid players.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's gearing up to be that extra core to offer a good amount of physical punch. Bottom lane, they are going to look to try and collapse in onto Flow. Quakefor lays down the web. Gets in on top of him, always want to fly. He can't offer much at all to save his Legion.
It looks
Flow
like,
will fall.
Yeah, it looks like Flow is the sacrificial lamb of Team FlyToMoon right now. They just put him in the most dangerous position and like, you're on your own, buddy. If you survive, you survive.
But this is certainly worrying now for FlyToMoon. The Brood plan has come into full force now for Liquid here at 15 minutes. Everything going the way that Quakefor would hope for.
10k net worth, almost finishing off his BKB. I believe he just needs the Mithril Hammer. Always on a fly, just gonna die there. You don't even have to go back to him. He's most certainly dead.
In the middle, Jump's gonna be there as well. They're looking towards Iceberg. Iceberg, he has got the Ravage, holding on to it for now. They will manage to root up Quakefor, turn towards him with the duel. Now trying to offer up the save, Campbox to keep him alive, he cannot. They get the kill. FlyToMoon, they've taken down the big one. But the thing is, Liquid are still happy to fight without their Spider. They've got a lot of items on the rest of them, and they're ready to use them, collapsing onto Iceberg. Iceberg is dead, Flow is stuck and trapped between them all. As they find the Legion, Slayer's trying to juke around Tiger, actually killing him off with his own spells here, will manage to do so.
Oh, Kellen. Maybe if he ported on that shrine, he'd be able to catch someone, but instead he ports on the tier 2 where everyone else is, and yeah, Liquid, they're just way too elusive. At the same time though, why force a fight before your Brute has that big?
He was about 100 gold away from it.
Like, that just feels weird. And they're forcing it onto that Tidehunter. Like, he's so beefy. Like, you can't take that man down so easily, and...
No, for sure, definitely getting a little ahead of themselves there, Liquid.
Because of that, the Brood Mother dies just before he gets the BKB.
Slayer.
That's interesting.
Bit of a fancy little play here onto Mickey, but Mickey more than fine.
He had that edict to work with, and he saw that Mickey does not really have a lot of mana after that fight on the mid lane, so he gave it a go, but he was never going to kill this Emperor. There was no way. Emperor Spirit also going for the Maelstrom. Well, Ty got beefed up a little bit. Last time he died at that chrono a little bit too easily for him. So he goes for 2 bracers now. Like, he's also very tanky. That's one of the reasons why it's so hard to take down a target from 100 to 0. Everyone is buying bracers.
Yeah.
Offlaners, 2 bracers, supports 2 bracers. Back in the time, man, if you buy a bracer... Oh.
So they can do it here. They've got to kill him before the chrono ends. They don't want to let him BKB, and they won't. They've got the disable. Very nicely done there from FlyToMoon.
You still have damage if you catch him on the edge of the chrono, so that's good. The Legion still had enough range to use that duel before he died. But yeah, they take down the Brood once again. That's 2 times in a row, and this tier 1 is most certainly falling.
Gonna start leading forward, Kellen. Does get saved. Flow's able to come in with the Dispel, get him out of the stun. They'll now turn their attention towards the Legion Commander, Flow. Can they keep him alive? Tombstone's gonna be dropped down. They've lost Flow. Liquid, they're trying to back up, but Kellen's in on top of Tiger, gets the bash off. Tiger goes down, Boxing and Insane get themselves back behind the tower. They're trying for the deny, will be able to take it.
Yeah, that's tricky deny from Boxy, and then they can retreat. They only lost the Lash there. Obviously, the tier 1 denied, but they got a counter kill on Legion, and they didn't have Brood that whole time. I believe one of the reasons why it went all right for Liquid is Tidehunter was in the jungle instead of just 5-manning and helping out his team. But Iceberg was like, you guys got this. Brood is that they're not gonna defend. A small mistake. Desolator into BKB. You shouldn't really try this at home. It's not really the perfect.
Well, you're not a fan?
It's a great build, but
Okay.
it's game specific. It shouldn't be built every time. Getting some Solar Crests, some Vlads, and just a lot of utility right now, I believe, is the best way to play Tidehunter. Going for the damage, it's fun, I guess. It's fun. Just go for it. Do what makes you happy, guys. That's what matters. So many spiders died there.
See Mickey. He's able to maybe start something off. They are waiting. And we'll set up with the Ravage. Mickey's got the stick charges though, as well as the Aphotic Shield from Bo3 to allow him to get off another Slide of Fist. He's fine, and now they can try to change for more. Remnant in from Mickey onto the two of them. Iceberg and Always Want to Fly dying alongside Slayer.
It just feels that the team that initiates loses the fight. They try to go on that Ember Spirit. They have no business trying that when Abaddon is around, because he will break up your combo. He uses that Aphotic Shield, he heals up the Ember. Suddenly, it's like you didn't even touch him and you're losing 3 heroes because now it's their time to use their spells as you have already wasted everything you've got. Look at this.
Everyone says, yeah, Mickey, they get pretty close to killing him, but it's always going to be hard when Bo3 can instantly remove the stun himself with the borrowed time and offer up the save to Mickey.
Just an easy, clean execution by Liquid. Instantly they go into the pit. They got this Aegis for the Broodmother, so the next time they use that Chrono, it's not going to be nearly as effective, as the Broodmother will have 2 lives to work with. You have to find a different target now to use that Chrono on. And if you don't Chrono the Brood, she's going to kill you. So it's a difficult situation. I believe they just have to split push, buy their time as much as possible. Yeah, you can see Callum building into the BKB. Maelstrom into BKB, it's like... It's like you're done after that. It's going to take him so much time to get the next item, unless he gets like a really sick, good Chrono.
Oh yeah, he's got to hope for the kills then. Obviously with the BKB, he's not going to be doing a crazy amount of damage, but can at least commit without the threat of spells and stuns being thrown in from outside of the Chrono. 2k lead for Liquid. Quaker still holding that advantage. I mean, the goal difference isn't massive.
Oh.
It's just always hard to...
Was there an Undying there?
They're not staying very true to his name. Quaker just destroying him as the Brood. Yeah, this is sort of the reason why that 2k lead for Liquid feels like a lot more. This Spider is still having a very, very good game. Even when, we've seen a couple of times, they do kill him in the Chrono, but it hasn't really amounted into much at all.
They're definitely in control. Then again, you can't neglect FlyToMoon and their late game potential if it gets to late game. Oh, nice stun by Taiga there. Very well played. Just in time before the duel connects and he gets out. I wonder, like, Legion Commander, usually when you're playing this hero, you have some pipe, you have some, I don't know, bonus utility. So far, he has only pinned the Dispel. That's it.
Now he's got it.
Now he's got it, but it's a little bit late. 22 minutes in, as a core Legion Commander, you expect a little bit more out of him.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you see that his Rubik's got the same farm.
Exactly. That shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the situation when the game doesn't look super difficult for him, but it's the way they strategized. They just put everything into this Tidehunter and the Void, so he struggles a little bit.
And there we go. BKB done for Kellen. So we'll see what sort of a play that they can come up with. They do have all their ultimates. Definitely going to want to be getting something done with this now. See if Liquid do get caught out. Bo3 and Tiger at the moment, the ones to show themselves towards mid. Bo3.
They just have to outplay them this next team fight. He's just pushing in, and you can see Bo3, he's allowed to be up front because he has that borrowed life. At the same time, you have the Broodmother with Aegis, so who do you really Chrono? if you don't chrono these two, Abaddon is going to save someone. And like that doesn't work too. You have to get some pickoffs, perhaps try to split push so that one of them tries to defend, and when that happens, you strike. You try to use the duel or the chrono on that target.
The Iceberg will step forward. Quofer will start burning away a bit of that mana. Of course, a resource that Iceberg does not have a lot of. One of the reasons why he's got that BKB, to make sure that he's able to get at least a few anchor smashes off in the fight. Still not sort of taking the bite. Liquid are allowed to take the tower as FlyToMoon still holding back on their attempt to jump in and look for a fight. Flo, it's not going to get away. They have the chains. Mickey just also have to be a little careful. Of course, Flo with the pipe is not going to take much damage at all from Mickey's advances. Whether they help a Tiger, they'll certainly have the damage to get the kill. Tiger comes in and finishes him off.
Where did he TP? Because that TP felt forever. Like,
maybe over to the shrine or one of
like
sort of the towers outside of the base.
One of the towers definitely, or the shrine. Well, there aren't too many towers outside of the base, so I suspect...
No, that's true, just the one.
Yeah, I suspect some shrine to which someone else TP'd earlier, as he could have gotten out if he just ported to base instead.
Top tower is under attack.
But I think that's Aghanim's complete.
It is. 24 minutes in. I mean, they've got good map control. They should be able to get a good amount of the bounty runes. I guess FlyToMoon have managed to get themselves back out on the bottom, starting to push things out, at least on that half of the map.
Yeah, it's important for them to be able to get outside of the base. One of the reasons, I believe, is Iceberg's Tide Hunter. If he's able to just stay in the base and anchor smash away these spiders and everyone else, he can just delay the game just enough for this Void to get outside so that he can farm, he can push, he can create this pressure on the outer towers on Liquid, and then it's on Liquid to decide, all right, do we try to continue pressuring even though this Tide Hunter is just sitting here defending, or do we go and try to get the pick off? And once they go back and try to get the pick off, it's on FlyToMoon to realize that and move on the other side of the map. Basically, they have to play a cat and mouse game at the moment for as long as possible, because with these items that they've got, they aren't killing anyone.
Tiger.
Though. He just got his level 20. Tiger, is this the right move?
Yeah, he does show himself. There's Flo as well. Tiger does also have the backup, and Iceberg and Flo do realize, as they will start to now run themselves away from the Lesh. Tiger, maybe seeing if he can get some sort of setup and catch for the rest of Liquid to finish off. Okay, jumping in. Ooh, we'll find the connection there with a slight. Gets in. They've found Flo. Great hunt from Mickey. Finding out Flo in the tree line with that sleight of fist. And that will mean that Flo does not have the luxury of getting home.
Yeah, he dies. And considering the way this game has went, like Flo must be thinking, man, a blink would be so good right now instead of this pipe, because they are pick-off oriented and they're split push oriented. You don't need that pipe at the moment, at least. I believe 2 bracers would have just done enough. But the thing is, everyone is copying what the tier 1 players are doing, right? And if they buy a pipe, I believe it's Fog that said it, if they buy a pipe and they win, everyone is going to copy that and go with that no matter what the situation is. You have to adapt your item build not only to the game that you're playing and the draft, but to the game plan, like the way you're going to play it.
Kellen, he has been able to sort of get the space to continue to roll in the items. He's sitting third highest on the network. Both him and Iceberg still very nicely farmed. The Mjolnir done on the Void.
I believe this is a situation in which the game can turn in FlyToMoon's favor. You have that level 20 on Tide Hunter. You have a lot of gold on him. Dezo, BKB, same goes for the Void, as he has finished the Mjolnir. So there is a bunch of damage coming from them. Also, interesting, Slayer is going for Aghanims this match.
I mean, I like it. I think, he's sort of saying, well, I mean, my Legions were not really stepping up as a core position. I've got to be the one to carry the game. He wants to carry. He's feeling it. Go for the big items. Go for the big plays.
What do you steal, though? You can steal the Death Ward super easily, and then you'll have it with Aghanims and Chrono. That can be really good. Besides that,
I guess for the damage, right? Would you sort of rate the remnants being good from the Ember, having sort of the burst from the 5 remnants?
From Lash, I guess you can steal Nova if you're quick enough, but very unlikely.
Yeah, we'll see what Slayer does go to grab. Killing build boys. He's going to go for the Satanic next. Just looking to tank up, make sure he's got that resistance and lifesteal, so he can sort of man fight even heroes like the Brood.
this game has chilled out completely. Ever since Koikwa got that Aegis, they just used it to farm, and now they're going for Slayer.
They're going to try and look for the easier pick off Slayer. Found outside of the base, trying to get himself away. The BKB comes out, but a duel will be there, and that keeps Slayer alive. The duel, though, it's causing the death of Flo, as Flo will fall. They'll get the Chrono, it is the strong one. As they'll get one, they'll now turn their attention towards the Spider. Ravage there from Iceberg, Quaifa's falling low, but he will be able to walk away. They didn't quite have the damage to kill him. A buyback has come out from Always Wanna Fly, but now, with their ultimates expended, FlyToMoon have nothing else to offer in that fight.
I just have to say, that looked like the perfect chrono for Void. Like, he catches them inside while Tidehunter is still able to hit them from the outside of the chrono. Also, Rubik is safe on the left side, but it just wasn't enough. With all the sustain that they've got, you can't match the natural sustain that Team Liquid has got.
Yeah.
Like, besides the items that they've bought, they also have Bo3, who's going to shield you all the time, who's going to heal you all the time. You have the Broodmother that has that ultimate to work with. And on the other hand, FlyToMoon, they've itemized in such a way to stay up and living. But that means that they don't have the damage necessary for fights. So you have to balance it out somehow. And right now, they aren't able to do it.
See them back off a little bit, Liquid, but knowing that the Chrono and Ravage are down, it's got to be appealing for them to try and make some sort of a play soon. But I mean, at the same time, even when there is a Chrono to Ravage, they didn't really care.
They won the
back
fight.
in the mid, they do get the duel off. See if they can get the kill on Quaifa. They do, they've got it. Flo was able to get in and grab him, and now they can try and chase from what Mickey has got remnants available, but they'll take that. A huge kill to find, getting Quaifa.
Oh, and Rosh is up, like a perfect kill. And Broodmother also does not have that buyback.
No.
But you have Dezo on the Tidehunter. He just needs to get his watermelony ass in the pit so that he can start hitting this big boy.
And I think that was just overconfidence there for Quaifa. He sort of thought, I guess as I was thinking, there's no Ravage, there's no Chrono, I'm good to go.
Back? Like,
but the duel, it was enough. And now outside of the pit, Liquid will try and slow things down. Jump forward from Mickey and Tiger, looking for Slayer, but Slayer's able to get himself out and towards the pit. Bo3, he's walking in, but the Roshan's already down. Now they can jump across looking for more. Kellen chasing down Tiger, the dilation, slowing him up. The Lesh has fallen, they'll turn to Bo3. Bo3, borrowed time's on cooldown. He's going to go down for good. They lose the Abaddon. That's a gem on the ground as well.
They lose the team fight. They lose Brood. They lose Rosh. Gem has still not been picked up, but I suppose someone
have they left it in the river?
Yeah, it's in the river.
Oh, no. Surely they saw the gem.
I don't think so.
I don't think they saw the gem. They'll be back for it later, I'm sure.
Well,
they've got vision on it. Someone's going to see it.
Well, it's the courier of the Dire that's coming for it. Liquid.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah, they rescued the gem.
Oh, no. That would have been such a great opportunity. They just got sort of the fight of their lifetime here in this game.
Oh,
no. Oh,
come on.
Oh, no. The pressure's...
give him the tip.
Oh, no.
Tip him.
They just had such a good play. Killing Quaifa, going for Roche, getting the gem, but then not getting the gem, and then not hitting the Chrono. It was all on a rise.
Let's just ruin it a little.
It sort of came back down to earth very quickly.
Chill out, casters. We're still going to lose this.
Oh, no. They had every opportunity with those two moments to really take the lead.
And he had 3 bashes there. He hits the bash 3 times, and he's still... that's so unfortunate for him. I mean, it's difficult to catch an Ember. He is able to get up.
No, sure. I mean, that happens a lot of times. Ember is one of the heroes that...
But it's just the execution of events.
And the fact that it happened after just such a great play from them.
Yeah, they had a good moment, then another one with that Rosh, the Aegis, then they lose the gem that they could have picked up. It would be so valuable for them as well. Yeah. Just to clear out the woods of their own, to get this map control back up.
That's, yeah, I mean, Liquid will certainly sort of a sigh of relief there, as they'll know themselves that could have gone a whole lot worse for them. It didn't. They still have their gem. They still have their Ember's life intact.
However, Tidehunter is 25.
Yeah.
Can we see that talent? Can we just go to that plus 250
damage? It hurts. I mean, as long as if they get a dual or a Ravage and he is able to walk in and slap him with the Anchor Smash, it's going to be sort of half HP. These heroes. Slayer does have his Aghanims.
Should be able to just destroy them with
and his AC is pretty much done. Iceberg has got the money to finish that AC.
So he actually hits hard as well. He hits fast, too. It's not only about these Anchor Smashes. Slayer stealing that borrowed time. quite good. Does that Aghanim's work with him though?
It should do, right?
Should.
Because the Aghanim's buff for Ban is tied to the ult. Yeah, so yeah, indeed, he does get that extra sort of chance.
And he fires missed coils.
He will.
Yeah.
It should do, yeah, even though he doesn't have the missed coil
Yeah.
ability, I think, it should be coded. I mean, actually the game, it works flawlessly, so it should work that he
I've
does
never
fire
seen
them
a
out.
bug with Rubik, it's a hero with no bugs. Nothing ever
Very
happened.
easy hero to
Yeah,
maintain,
cool.
I'm sure, in the coding area.
Never had to patch the game just because of that hero, never.
Very,
never
very
happened.
simple hero, yeah. And Liquid still with a 3K lead. But FlyToMoon, they've definitely shown that they can still definitely take a fight.
Yeah,
The Iceberg's massive. So's Kellen. Their two cores are huge. Mickey and Boxy are trailing behind those two. It's obviously just the spider thing. It's quite for at the top.
I definitely think FlyToMoon has an edge on the game right now. I believe they could win this super easily as long as they hit their spells. Don't chrono the ground. Take a gem when you kill a hero carrying it, just these simple things.
I mean, I think for the most part, we're going to see Kellen, in these fights. Mickey, he's a little bit behind, so you don't really care about the Ember. It's the Brood, right? You want to get Quakefight. You got to get him out of the fight. You cannot allow him to start running rampant, popping BKB, killing your supports on the back lines. You've got to get rid of the Spider. And, for the most part, the Spider is going to be a lot easier to get in the Chrono than the Ember is anyway. So we'll see, FlyToMoon.
The only thing that they don't have is a Crimson Guard on the side of FlyToMoon. That's something that's super valuable versus the Brood Mothers right now.
Yeah, for sure.
They just send those spiders on supports and they eat them alive. Especially if you go for the Spider Talents, which most usually does happen. I'm not certain if he goes for that because of the Tidehunter. Yeah, he went for the attack speed instead.
And Iceberg securing up the old Daedalus. So making sure that he is able to do some heavy lifting with these anchor smashes.
And you can see how much they believe in this Tidehunter. They gave him the Aegis, they gave him the cheese. He's pretty much the carry right now. He is their true position one.
Oh, yeah.
Void is there for the chrono, for the control. But this is the man that dishes out the majority of the damage. And net worth-wise, he's also very close to that Brood Mother he's keeping up. Aegis has been reclaimed.
I'm going to lose Slayer by the looks of it. Here towards mid. Mickey, there's the backup with that duel. They've locked down Quakefight, but of course Quakefight, he already had the ult going, so that's going to be Flo dueling himself to his own death. As they both die.
Why? This is what I was saying. Like, this game would be easy for FlyToMoon if they decided to use their spells properly. Why do you...
There's
no one. It's you and
Well, we've seen, Flo, I feel like, I don't know if Slayer's sort of shouting him, saying, look, dude, you've already fed enough, I just want you to save me. Because there's been a few times where Flo as the Legion has tried to save the Rubik, and it's not paid off. Now they've got to both buy back. Iceberg trying to start things off, but he's popping the BKB. Doesn't have the cheese. Will get the Ravage out, but the BKBs are out for Mickey and Quakefight. Kellen leading in. He's got the BKB, the Chrono out to the three of them. Do they have the damage to get the kills in time? The bashes around to Quakefight's dead. They'll turn to Mickey. Mickey stunned up the stolen stuff from Slayer. Holds him down a little bit. He tries for the TP out, but they're onto the high ground. They've got the four of them. They've got the five. It's a full wipe.
All right.
FlyToMoon knock back Liquid. And now they can push down mid. There's no buyback on Mickey.
They did force 2 buybacks there, but at the same
That's
time,
a worthy buyback.
That's super great. Like, you just wiped them and you picked that gem up. So you can...
Oh, they did pick it up this time.
They did pick it. I hope
they did.
I hope they did. I didn't check.
It was inside their base, so...
They didn't pick it.
Wait, where's the gem?
Where's the gem? Did they? It's outside there. I think here somewhere, no?
Do they not have it? Maybe the courier sent it?
It's on Abaddon,
It's
right?
somewhere.
It was definitely on Abaddon. You can see that he's missing that. Anyways, gem will be found.
It's somewhere.
Will be retrieved.
But they're pushing on. 40 seconds without it. And Liquid, they have used 3 buybacks here. But as it said, FlyToMoon, they've 3 buybacks, but FlyToMoon they're still taking the base.
They have BKBs. They can just take this Rax for sure.
How's the melee Rax gone? They've got it. Oh, that is the courier dead though, and that did have the dead. It had the Daedalus on. What did kill it?
What killed it?
I think Creeps killed it.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Keys, I guess.
They keep doing something great, and then something terrible happens to them. There's going to be a cursed team here, FlyToMoon.
Let's just feed the courier a little.
Yeah. But overall, yeah, great stuff,
there it
right?
is. There's the jump.
Okay, so they know it's there.
Yeah,
They do.
They saved the jump.
They put it there.
By the way, this Tidehunter hits so fast after Legion dispels him. That's really good.
And I mean, well, that again, another great sequence of events with a bit of a clowny finish there. Losing the Daedalus for a few minutes does suck for Iceberg, but overall, what they spend 2 buybacks. They don't lose their racks. They push down mid. They get Liquid to use 3 buybacks, and they take Liquid's melee racks.
No, it was perfect for them, pretty much.
And now they got an 8K lead.
So basically, what you have to do is you have to feed the duel so that they think that they've got you, and then you turn the fight. So fail a little bit, but not too much. Overall, Abaddon also going for that Lotus Orb, it seems.
Oh, look at this. Let's try and go for it. I mean, this is one of the benefits, right? Yeah, having the Ags and then getting the Stolen Remnant, like the speed that the Rubik can initiate, he's in there and he's grabbing you. You know, there's not really much time to react at all when he's jumping around with the Remnant. So a great steal from Slayer that he's already having some great impact
he's
with.
He's had a lot of impact overall in this game. And let's see, Kellen did BKB.
He needs to BKB, but now he hasn't got a TP. He'll time walk. He has got a chrono. It's getting him further away. We'll have another time walk. And he will get out of there. Bo3's trying to chase, but he should be fine.
There we go.
He's got one more jump.
Will he be fine, though?
I mean, they are chasing.
Coming. Ember does have that tag.
It doesn't hit the chains combo.
Yeah, but
didn't have it. Okay.
Okay. All right. Undying is porting
again. Has he got mana for one more time walk with the tread toggle?
There's
not quite. He's going to have it in a second.
Is under attack.
All right, he's
fine. He's out. He got out in his own way. Was a little greedy, not BKBing before the TP. I'm
also
sure he learned his lesson.
Yeah.
He won't do that again. He will BKB next time.
It's just difficult to decide because
sure, it's a risk, right? It's a gamble.
It's a risk. You really want that BKB to be as long as possible in this game, but at the same time you're playing versus an Ember. He's gonna get on top of you.
What is the Void's BKB down to at the moment? Has he still got a good duration? Right. So he's trying to preserve the 7-second one. Okay. So I was gonna say if it was down to 5, I'd be like, no
like
excuse.
Whatever. 5 seconds, you just use it for TP. It's a no-brainer. Roche has respawned, and we might see a good fight around this area, but at the same time, they don't really have a chrono to work with.
No, but they built time for the Imes to come out. Courier's going to be back up. Daedalus will be there for Iceberg.
Yeah, they have a bunch of stuff as well. You have that duel for lockdown. You also have the Ravage.
And Iceberg's just going to walk in. He's going to try and start things off, have a poke towards Mickey. We'll slow them down a little bit. Buying time for the Courier to come over. Is about to make that delivery towards Iceberg.
You're just delaying time right now. You're just delaying, that's all.
There it is.
Iceberg runs in, gets dispelled by Legion Commander. He can't really die that easily.
Rush down to half HP at the moment. Gonna try and get some hits on him. Oh, wow. Look at how it go with those crits and the Daedalus. Mickey's got to be careful. Jump in and a jump out from Slayer. Just a bit of a poke. Bit of a tease. Kellen's in with the dilations, focusing Tiger. Tiger yawls it up. Tiger's out of position though. Jules there from Flo. That's one down. They get the grab. Jump forward. Do they have the chain to save? Well, no. Quite far. We'll be able to put the BKB. Turns with the lifesteal onto Flo. Bo3 and Mickey still trying to fight in the river. Flo's being chased by the spider, but the BKB's ended for Quaifa. He's got to turn around and help the rest because they're in trouble. Iceberg turns towards Mickey. The Ravage catches him off. They kill off the Ember. Quaifa's in trouble. He's got no BKB. Surrounded the Chrono.
Ember as well.
Ember has remnanted into the Chrono. Does have the BKB, but he's getting bashed up. He's in trouble. Flores looking for Insania. Insania has to stop the death ward. Mickey still getting focused down by the Void. Jump in the Remnant Slayer with the Aghanims. He burns them down. It's falling on Liquid. No buybacks.
This is they can just go drone. 100 seconds. Mid lane is pushing in.
It's game
over.
Game.
It's over.
It's game.
It's crash and burn indeed.
It's game. And Liquid's not, they can't feel too happy about this. Well, they're losing, but this is not, this was a clowny game at the best. And they lost it.
Shiver was right, Benno was wrong.
I mean, a very entertaining showing. FlyToMoon. They've done it, they've knocked a game off Liquid.
They won their first game of the tournament as well.
And they did it with style. The mid-Tidehunter, Iceberg, going for this AC, Deso, Daedalus. And you saw that fight around the pit, they couldn't come close to him. Everyone that stood anywhere near the tide, they lost half their HP.
I mean, that's what you do when you pick a brute and you have a last pick to work with as well on the enemy team. You get yourself a Tidehunter. Tidehunter takes that tier 1 even before the Brood does. Has so much farm, just farms the spiders, farms the jungle, farms everything. And and goes ham. Has that Desolator, Vlad's, like, yeah, an easy game for Iceberg, I say.
No, for sure. And it's got to be a bit of a hit there for Liquid losing this game. You know, they said, you know, it was a tough day yesterday. They've come into day 2. It's not a great start. And, you know, when you're coming into a game like this and you're picking, you know, the Quake for Brood, and then you lose, that's going to be a little knock to your confidence.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great, does it? Because yesterday they played that Brood and they did win, but also it wasn't really that convincing of a win. Like, they really did take a lot of time. Yeah. So maybe it's time to put the Brood into the last pick area again.
Well, we'll see. Well, the struggles look to continue today for Liquid as we start this series, but for FlyToMoon, a brilliant beginning to the day as they're up in the series 1-0 at the moment here in this best of 3.